Alright, so I get a lot of questions about what I feed my dog because I put her on a raw prey model diet. What the prey model is basically trying to model what the dog would eat in the wild if there was no kibble around or dog food. So basically think of your dog as a wolf. What would it eat throughout its day or throughout the week, and go from there. What I've learned so far is basically you want to stick to a lot of red meat. So a lot of beef or pork. Pork is red meat. You can feed that to them. So you can buy the big pork shoulders in massive weights for pretty cheap and just cut it down into big slabs for your dog. My dog's only 13 weeks old right now. So I'm going off an estimated adult weight of about 60 pounds for her, just based off her parents' weight. So what I do is I feed her about 3 to 4% of what her estimated adult weight is going to be. So I feed her anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds based on her activity levels, how hungry she seems, based on the activities she's done that day. She has lazy days where I only feed her, maybe 2.5 pounds, split up into 3 meals throughout the day. As she gets older, I'll reduce it down to 2 meals a day, and eventually she'll get to the point where she's eating 1 meal a day, and maybe a meaty bone snack type of thing during the day. Something like a big beef rib. I mean, there's a lot of meat on there. It'll take her some time to get to that. This doesn't constitute a whole meal. If I was to give this in a meal, I would substitute it with some beef heart, and maybe I get shavings from the butcher. This is just a frozen bag of leftover cuts from when they were cutting the steaks in the butcher shop early in the morning. This normally gets ground down into hamburger and put into a tube. I buy it off them for about $2 a pound. It's pretty cheap, and they've got it every morning, but not in bulk sizes. So I just buy about 5 to 10 pounds when I'm there, and freeze what I don't use right away. I also get whole chicken leg quarters. The way I basically am approaching this is she gets meat 3 times a day, every meal, and then there's one bone day and one organ day. On the bone day is when I'll feed her whole chicken quarters. I'll give her a chicken quarter in the morning. I'll give her something like a turkey neck or chicken feet for lunch, along with some red meat. And then for dinner, I'll give her another leg quarter. And she does just fine eating the bone and all right now. Again, as she gets older, I'll just transition that bone day into a whole chicken. She can eat the entire thing from start to finish. And that's the way she'll do it when she gets older. Things I recommend: bleach spray. I just diluted it in some water. I clean all my surfaces before prepping and immediately after. I also spray the dog bowls with it and wash them out every day when she's done eating. So for an example, before I get going here, let's see. I also recommend a probiotic. I got this at the local feed store. It is for dogs, horses, goats, sheep, beef, cattle, swine. You can see clearly it does have a horse on the front, but clearly does say 4 dogs on the back and gives you advice on how to administer that daily. I just use 1 tablespoon once a day. I coat her meat in it, basically almost like breading, and she eats it right up, no problem. I also use a puppy multivitamin right now. I will go to an adult multivitamin when she's older. A lot of people will say you don't need them. It's up to you. It's something that's your choice. I figure we're supposed to eat healthy and take vitamins. Why not make sure our dog gets everything? If you're feeding right, it should get all those supplements anyway and all those nutrients, but we just want to be safe. Or I do, at least. Again, it's your choice. You can just feed raw all you want. And, there's plenty of people that do it without supplements, and their dogs are fantastic. So up to you. I'm going to go ahead and feed Kaya her meal here. Oh, these work well too. These are disposable food handling gloves. Keep your hands clean. They're like $1 or $2 for a box of 100 or 2. Um, what I'm feeding her today for dinner, or lunch, I'm sorry, lunch, is an oxtail. A lot of people say, you know, don't give them to this as they're bigger because they can really just inhale the whole thing. She's at the age right now where she likes them. She does well with them. She eats them, does really good. Just some chunks of heart. And I'm going to give her one of these bones here. Now this bone, she's not going to be able to eat this bone. She can't break this bone down, so it's not like I'm feeding her a bone day or giving her a bone meal. It's really just more for the meat off of the bone, and it's going to give her some exercise. It's going to work her neck, her jaws, and her shoulders as she's holding it down and pulling and tugging. She does really well with bones. Again, I've been feeding her raw since she was 7 weeks old. As soon as she came home from the breeder, I bought a big bag of the good old, you know, $50 premium Innova dog food. And after 2 days, I switched over to raw just after the reading I've done. So again, I just take some probiotics, just sprinkling it on there. Little on the bone, little on the oxtail. And that's it. Also, twice a week, I will crush up a whole egg, the shell and all, and I'll throw it in with her beef, and I'll just throw it right on top of her food. She eats that. It's really good for her coat. People are also adding fish oils, coconut oil. I haven't done that yet, but I do plan on adding coconut oil to the diet. Let's see, what else haven't I covered? I think that's about it. Coconut oil, if you're going to get that, you just add, you know, a little teaspoon or two to every meal. Mix it in. Good for their fur, good for their coat, supposedly. Again, I'm not there yet, but I do plan to make that addition soon. I think that's it. I don't use grains. I don't do fruits. I don't do veggies. I figure she's already outside during the day. She's eating foliage and stuff like that, chewing on trees and bark and plants, and when it comes time to eating, she wants meat. That's what I give her. It's what's good for her. That's what the dog was designed to eat based off of a wolf, the direct ancestors. So, again, she's doing really well on it. She's had 3 vet checks. All 3 were fantastic. Clean bill of health. And only one doctor had asked what kind of diet she was on. And I've been to 2 different vets, one for shots and one for the ear cropping. And the ear cropping did the blood work, did stool samples, and he's the one that actually asked what diet I was feeding her, and said she looked fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and head outside. I feed her outside when it's nice and warm out. It has been cold lately with snow and rain. In that case, I have a 8-panel octagon pen that I set up, and I just feed her in there. I put down some puppy pads, put her in there. It keeps everything contained. The mess is real easy to clean up. I'll mop with bleach when she's done on the tile. And that's that. But it's real nice out today, so we're going to go ahead and head out to the backyard. Here's my baby right now. She's been waiting. She's like, Dad, why are you done with that video? Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Stretch out, yep. Come on. So I'll just go ahead and dump that out like that. Normally I'd leave it in the bowl, but with that cone, it's kind of rough for her to grab the stuff out of the bowl. What you got, mamas? And, you know, there's no food aggression. It doesn't make her more aggressive as a dog. She's a beautiful, loving dog. She doesn't get excited about food anymore. You know, you can tell right now she's just kind of like, what's on the menu? Again, you know, all dogs are different, just like people. Your dog might get super excited during feeding time, and she has those days too. But more often than not, she's a pretty casual eater. She'll take it over there on the grass, lay down, and enjoy her oxtail for a while. She'll come back and get that bone later. But you have any questions or tips or comments or whatever, let me know. I'm open for everything. See ya.